The hacktivist group Anonymous has been involved in a lot of controversy with various organizations over the past few years, not only including government agencies such as the FBI and the CIA, but also other hacktivist groups, such as Aiplex, LulzSec, and even WikiLeaks. In this second part of the story of Anonymous, we explore the development and interaction of these hacker groups. Pirates of the Information Age. In September 2010, a sort of anti-Anonymous surfaced. Aiplex software used Anonymous's tactics to take down websites, but these were no activists. This Indian company worked on behalf of the record and movie industries. They launched attacks to sink websites that provided copyrighted content, like the Pirate Bay. Aiplex was a common enemy upon which the activists and pranksters of Anonymous could agree. United, they hopped back onto the IRC channels and aimed their iron cannons at Aiplex, the RIAA and the MPAA, and other websites associated with copyright protection. However, IRC network operators became aware that Anonymous was using their system to plan illegal activities and began shutting those channels down. Anons organized a group of servers to host their own independent IRC network, which they called AnonOps. In the end, copyright protection related websites suffered over 500 hours of downtime. Anons hacked the Copyright Alliance website and posted "Payback is a bitch" on their front page. Zombie botnets. In November 2010, WikiLeaks began to release 500,000 secret US diplomatic cables. Under threat of legal action, the US government coerced financial institutions, including PayPal, into cutting off service to WikiLeaks. Anonymous announced their support of WikiLeaks in a press release and waged war against PayPal and the other financial institutions. Anonymous went after PayPal's main site on December 8, but PayPal's reinforced network withstood the Iron Cannon attack. There just weren't enough Anonymous members to offer their support. Two hackers who went by the codenames Civil and Snitch brought a legion of computers under their control using a virus. These zombie computers formed an involuntary botnet that brought enough iron cannons to the table to take down PayPal's main transaction site. PayPal estimated that the damage cost them $5.5 million. They gave the IP addresses of 1,000 attackers to the FBI, leading to the arrests of 14 individuals, each of whom pleaded guilty. The Hacker Wars. Thanks to zombie botnets, a legion of Anons was no longer necessary to carry out a DDoS attack. A handful of Anonymous's most skilled hackers splintered off to form an exclusive team. They called themselves LulzSec, and their leader went by an alias of Sabu. He was considered the most skilled hacker in the Anonymous collective. LulzSec had grown tired of activism and wanted to go back to the roots of Anonymous and 4chan, which was causing chaos for no reason other than to annoy people and laugh about it. They began by hacking Fox and leaking the personal information of over 73,000 X Factor contestants. Then they hacked PBS, posting a fake news story stating that Tupac and Biggie were still alive and living together in New Zealand. Later, they hacked a porn website and published the email addresses and passwords of 26,000 members. But like junkies seeking a stronger fix, these low-risk crimes no longer thrilled Sabu and his crew, so they began to tamper with the websites of the US Senate, the FBI, and the CIA. LulzSec's crimes against innocent internet users outraged other online activists. Hacker groups with colourful names like Team Poison and Team Web Ninjas sought to identify the members of LulzSec and hand that information over to the authorities. So too did a hacker vigilante known as the Jester, who claimed to be acting out of patriotism for the United States. Their investigations into Sabu pointed to Hector Monsegur, a 28-year-old high school dropout living in New York City. The Traitor. Hector Monsegur was the unemployed foster father of two girls, his cousins. Their mother was in jail and he was their sole provider. When the FBI secretly arrested him on June 7, 2011, Hector did everything he could to stay out of prison. He quickly agreed to become an FBI informant in addition to helping them build a case against his friends in LulzSec. Under the FBI's direction, Hector turned LulzSec into an aggressively criminal organization known as Anti-Sec, which participated in a massive crime spree with Anonymous. They publicized the social security numbers of Border Patrol officers. They hacked into military defense contractor websites, and they stole credit card numbers of thousands of police officers. In December 2011, Anti-Sec member Jeremy Hammond broke into the server for Stratfor, a Texas-based global intelligence company. He stole vast archives of confidential emails, as well as 30,000 credit card numbers from their databases. Hector provided a server to store the data, but unbeknownst to Jeremy, it was an FBI server. The setup. The FBI had far bigger fish to fry than the pranksters at LulzSec. Supposedly, Hector Monsegur had been setting up a deal to sell the Stratfor data to an FBI informant within WikiLeaks, as part of an FBI effort to frame Julian Assange. However, Jeremy Hammond may have realized that something was wrong. The hack was too easy, the credit card info was hardly protected, and Hector was now working on a deal instead of giving the info out for free. Jeremy released the Stratfor data to the public before Hector could finish the deal. With Assange out of reach, the FBI took their frustrations out on Hammond. Several prominent LulzSec members were arrested and sentenced to prison. Jeremy was given the maximum sentence of 10 years and is currently serving time in prison. In court, Hector Monsegur was described as a model informant who helped the FBI in any way he could. He got off with a sentence of time served, and today he walks free. Modern day Anonymous. When news broke out that the leader of LulzSec was an FBI informant, it shook Anonymous to the core. Nobody could be trusted in the IRC. Anonymous became messy and disorganized. As the original elite hackers all retired or went to jail, new blood came in. This new generation gravitated to the cause of PC bullies and safe space perimeter guards, and they put little forethought into their actions. Thus, Anonymous operations in recent years have been total disasters. During the Ferguson protest, Anonymous believed they had uncovered the identity of the officer who shot Michael Brown. After Anonymous revealed the officer's identity, exposing him and his family to death threats, Ferguson police revealed that Anonymous was wrong. Anonymous then identified a second officer as the shooter, but that turned out to be wrong too. In October 2015, Anonymous began an operation to reveal members of the Ku Klux Klan, but many of the people they outed were vocal racists, who made no effort to hide their affiliations. Other people turned out not to be in the KKK at all, like cartoonist Ben Garrison. A racist once altered one of Garrison's drawings to include an anti-Semitic message, and the current generation of Anonymous thought that was enough to link Garrison to the KKK. In the wake of the Paris terror attacks, Anonymous has declared war on ISIS. They claim to have shut down over 20,000 Twitter accounts belonging to ISIS recruiters, but more credible organizations have discovered that many of those accounts didn't actually belong to any terrorists. Anonymous apologized and promised to do better in the future. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more Top Truths content. In the meantime, feel free to take a look at our other videos here.